Hello, this is William Bowman. I spoke to you earlier on the phone. I'm recording this video for Julie at D&J Arborists. I actually wanted to cover three things in the video. I noticed some things on the website that you guys can be doing. Really quick things that you guys could be able to enable, but I want to explain why you can enable them and why doing them will actually make an impact on your business. So I want to talk about three different things in the video and then show you exactly what I mean. So the volume of clients looking for your services is one. What your top online competitor is doing to win that volume. And then things you can do this exact moment on your website to start winning those clients in the future. So I'm actually going to show you exactly what to do. So here's your guys' website. I do like your guys' website. I like the fact that you guys have a bunch of content throughout here. Content is king. Google considers content to be king, and they use it to rank. You guys even have a video here. That's great. I did notice that the keyword that you guys are looking for, you guys do have Plano and Dallas in there. Plano is actually a really good one to go for, and that's the one that I'm going to go for because Dallas is extremely competitive. So if you want increased volume like now, then Plano would be the one that you would hit. You guys do have those keywords, and I'm sorry, I needed to explain. Keywords are basically words that people would actually put into Google in order to find your services. So basically like this, if I put in Plano tree services, that would be a keyword you guys would want here. You guys do have a bunch of pages, so you guys can actually rank multiple pages depending on which keyword. So some people do location pages. So like if you guys do business in Plano and business in McKinney and business in Dallas, you guys can have a location page for each to make sure that that location page is ranked in the top 10. That way you can get the volume for all of those three areas instead of trying to use one page to compete for all three. But let's jump into what the keywords are. So Plano tree service, this is actually a really big keyword in Plano. It actually has the top volume out of all keywords, so this is a good one to aim for. When you first search it, you're going to see the paid ads. I'm really glad to see that you guys aren't here because a lot of clients actually move straight past this, and a lot of bots click this, and it costs you per click. So it's good to see you're not there. When you come into here, you're gonna see Plano here. It looks like somebody made a business called Tree Service Plano. Kind of a play on the words, but yeah. So I don't see you guys here in the top three. You can optimize it's called your Google My Business, your GMB. You can optimize that to get into the top three, but that's a little bit more technical. So I'm not going to jump into that. I'm going to jump into the easy things you guys can do right now. So Texas surgeons. This is what we call the after we get past what's called the map pack, we get into what's called the organic search. So here in the organic search, your top competitor is the TexasTreeSurgeons.com. So I came over to them, and particularly the one with Plano, right? So the one that ends in Plano. And they're actually a prime example of having a location page because they actually, if you remove this, they also have a regular page that isn't /Plano, that is their home. So they actually also have this Plano page, which they use to rank in the top 10 for Plano. And it looks like when you're looking at their keywords, they have a lot of keywords kind of stuffed in here. They have some errors throughout their content. Google can actually dock you for having too many keyword repetitions on a page. So you don't want what's called stuffing of keywords. You don't want to do that. But you do want, if you look at how much content they have, typically you want to aim for 1,000 to 1,500 words on your front page. And it looks like they are pretty close to that 1,000, maybe 1,200 words on their page. So if you want to beat them, just add some more content to your page and make sure you have those keywords that you want to win on there. But let's look at the actual analytics, right? Because the analytics is what, will actually tell you guys exactly what to do. So the UR and the DR. So this is an analytical tool that I utilize, and basically it will show me for what URL, what Google thinks of that URL. So the UR is the URL rating, and this is kind of like Google's way of saying how trustworthy the URL is. And the domain rating, that's how trustworthy Google thinks that the domain actually is, or how much power they think the domain has, or reputation to throw around. So 16 and 25. Those are okay. It's kind of surprising because usually for a top ranked company, if they're the top of organic search, you would expect these to be anywhere between 25 to 35 and this to be 25 to 35 as well. Both of them increasing at a relatively equal pace is important. You don't want one that has a much higher number than the other. You especially need this DR. But let's talk about these backlinks. So backlinks are like, if I were to do a blog post and say, hey, tree trimming and removal, D&J Arborist, they are the best service in the area, and I put a link to your site, that's an example of a backlink. And they just have 15 backlinks from, it looks like 5 different sites. So an average of about 3 backlinks per site. But I do want to warn you, not all backlinks are created equally. I've seen, 1 or 2 backlinks beat 100, or 10 quality backlinks beat 1,000. It really does depend on the quality of the backlinks. So I recommend that you get good quality backlinks from good websites that have a high reputation. If you look on their backlinks, we can actually see their DR to this one is 43.8, but it's a no follow, which means they're not actually sharing any of this power with this URL. So that's not a good example of a backlink. This is not a good example. Any of these no follows or redirects, those aren't good examples. It looks like they don't really have any good quality backlinks. These are just redirects, which that's just basically saying that it's sharing some power from within or internally in the site. And you see it's 0, 0. It's not giving them any power. So these aren't actually great backlinks. It should be pretty easy to beat their backlink structure. But let's see what words they're actually aiming for. So if you look, tree service Plano, tree service Plano, Texas, tree trimming Plano, and you look at the volumes, 250, 70, 100, 180, they're since they're high up on the ranks, they're actually going to be capitalizing on this volume quite sufficiently, since they're the number 1 in organic. So they're going to be able to start summing up, any of these customers that happen to go to their site, there's going to be a portion of them that actually sign up for the services. So you definitely want to start grabbing this volume. And now I want to show you kind of what your site's doing. So it looks like you guys have a UR of 10 and a DR of 0. So it looks like you have somebody who's working with you guys, or somebody that, maybe when they designed your website, they knew a little bit about SEO. Looks like you guys have 84 backlinks. Again, they only have 15, but they're beating you guys sufficiently in both areas. If we go to those backlinks, you're going to start seeing that they might be very similar. So no follows, no follows, no follows, 301 redirect, no follow, no follow, no follow. Most of these are no follows, which aren't good quality backlinks. You want to get a follow back, which means with a follow back, it means that this website with this high domain rating is sharing some of that power back to your site. So if I were you guys, and let's look at the organic keywords. So if you guys look at the organic keywords, and I'm sorry, we've been looking at your domain. We want to see what is the page that you would want to rank. So if we look at this one, 23 backlinks, 6 referring, organic keywords, 57. So those might be different backlinks. Let me go to the organic keywords and see what you guys are trying to rank for. Arborist and Plano. Okay, that has 60. Arborist tree service. That has 300. Now, one thing about this one, Arborist tree service, anybody in the United States could be searching for that. So that volume is comprised of anywhere in the United States. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, somebody in Plano's or somebody in the Dallas area is looking for your services. So if you have nationwide services anywhere, this is a good keyword to try and rank for. And it looks like you guys are 25 on that. So you guys are working your way up there. 8 for Arborist Plano. That's good. That's a 60 volume. Arborist this is, there's volume, but this is not what's called a buyer intent word. Somebody doesn't put this into Google to try and find a service for, cutting down trees or trimming or anything like this. They put in something like tree trimming Plano. And there's only 20, but you guys are ranked 19, so you guys won't see any of that volume. But if you go back, tree service Plano, look, this is the one. This is the big daddy that you guys want to be going for. But you guys are ranked 34 for that. So you guys would want to add more content to this front page and get Plano in there with tree services, or tree service particularly, because tree services and tree service are completely different. I would optimize your GMB page to make sure that you guys are in the top 3 for Plano and any other areas that you guys are doing business in. Maybe make a location page specifically for Plano, specifically for McKinney, specifically for, any of the areas that you want to do business in. And by doing that, you can create like 1,000 keywords on that, or you can put 1,000 words of content on that page, and then you can put your keywords in there to where Google won't hit you hard for putting too many. You only want to have like 5 or 6 per page. If you have more than that, it can actually hurt you. Like for this one, they have it 32 times. That's no way Google is not making, it's not, they're probably docking points on their scores basically for ranking. And because they have it, it's obviously fluffed in here. It's just thrown in there as many times as possible, which is not a good SEO practice, because once Google starts docking you for that, then you're kind of like on their list to, not really, if you have competition there, this is not going to work. But I hope some of this was useful, and I hope you can implement some of this and start beating your competitors here for some of these keywords that do have value. If you have any questions, I would love to hear your feedback on this video. If you could reach out to me via email, or my number will also be in the email. Thank you so much for letting me shoot it, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.